What if I told you that right now, in the palm of your hand, could be something worth more than you've ever imagined? Something so rare, so powerful, and so mysterious, it could turn an ordinary coin into a piece of living treasure. These aren't just quarters. These are hidden fortunes, lost in drawers, trapped in old jars, forgotten in history, until today. Because in this video, we're unlocking the secret of U.S. coins and revealing the top 10 most valuable Washington quarter dollars in the entire world. Each coin carries a secret, a story buried deep in American history, and some of them are selling at auctions for life-changing amounts. So don't blink, don't skip, because one of these coins might be the very same year sitting in your pocket right now. This is not just a video, this is a journey through mystery, money, and time itself. Let's dive straight into the treasure vault, starting with coin number 1. A coin that will rewrite what you believe about American quarters forever. Coin number 1. This is it, the beginning of the legend. The 1962 Washington quarter dollar, no mint mark, fine condition, with a soft brown layer that time itself has painted over its silver heart. At first glance, it looks simple, just another old coin. But beneath that calm, weathered face lies a storm of history, and a secret that has made this coin one of the most hunted Washington quarters in America. The year was 1962. John F. Kennedy was leading the nation, America was booming, and silver was still the lifeblood of every U.S. coin. Each Washington quarter of that era was struck from 90% silver and 10% copper, shining with a brilliance that defined a generation's confidence. But what few people realized back then was that 1962 would mark the twilight of an era. Within just a few short years, silver would vanish from American coins forever. And that made the remaining 1962 silver quarters, especially those struck in Philadelphia without a mint mark, priceless artifacts of a vanished age. Now, decades later, these surviving coins tell the story of a country that changed forever, and of a minting process that could never be repeated again. Take a close look at its surface. That brown layer you see isn't damage. It's a badge of honor. It's called natural toning, a chemical reaction between silver and the air over more than 60 years. Collectors don't see it as wear. They see it as the fingerprint of time itself. Every swirl of tone, every hint of bronze and shadow makes this coin absolutely unique. No two 1962 quarters age the same way. And the absence of the mint mark tells you it was struck in Philadelphia, the very birthplace of American coinage. That small detail alone, no letter under the eagle, instantly sets it apart from every other mint in the country. It's pure American history, pressed into silver, aging gracefully into art. Most quarters from 1962 were used daily, flipped into jukeboxes, dropped in vending machines, or lost to time. Tens of millions were melted down when silver prices spiked in later decades. But among the survivors, only a tiny fraction remain in fine natural condition, untouched, uncleaned, and carrying that authentic aged glow. Today, serious collectors know if you spot one of these without a mint mark, with that smooth brown tone, you're staring at something far beyond ordinary money. It's a treasure that lives between history and miracle. At rare coin auctions across the U.S., this coin has become a quiet superstar. When it appears, the room changes. You can feel the attention shift. Collectors lean forward. Phones come out. The bidding paddles rise fast. Because they know owning this coin is like owning a piece of American pride that only a few will ever touch. And now, here's the truth that turns every collector's heart to fire. A 1,962 Washington quarter dollar without mint mark, brown layer, in fine condition, just like the one you're seeing now, has reached auction prices of around $155,000 in the current rare coin market. That's not hype. That's reality. The demand for authentic silver quarters from the early 1960s has exploded, and this one leads the charge. Its price keeps rising month after month, year after year. Don't take this as a fairy tale. This is the world of high-value coins where one find can change your life forever. This coin isn't just worth money, it's worth history. And if you ever find one, you're not just holding silver, you're holding a piece of American heritage, a living fortune, and a growing treasure that refuses to stop increasing in value. Here's what you need to do if you ever come across a 1962 Washington quarter. First, look under the eagle's tail. No mint mark means it's from Philadelphia. Check the color tone. A soft, natural brown or golden layer means untouched silver. Look at the details. Washington's hairline, the rim edges, the eagle's wings. The sharper the design, the greater the value. And one more secret, never clean it. Wiping or polishing removes the natural toning that gives it its soul. Instead, keep it in a coin holder, store it safely, and if you're serious, get it certified by PCGS or NGC. That's how you protect your treasure's authenticity and maximize its worth. So what looks like a simple quarter, just 25 cents of American history, is actually a silent millionaire maker. The 1962 Washington quarter, without mint mark, isn't just a collectible coin. It's a time capsule, a silver story, and a symbol of hidden fortune. Every collector dreams of holding one, because once you do, you don't just own metal. You own magic. You own American legacy. You own a treasure that grows richer every single day. Music rises emotionally, camera zooms in on coins spinning slowly under light. That was just coin number one. If you think $155,000 is shocking, wait until you see what's coming next. Because the next Washington quarters on this list are even rarer, even more mysterious, and even more valuable than you can imagine. Coin number two. Some treasures don't shine when you first see them. Some hide behind marks, shadows, and mystery, waiting for someone with the eyes to recognize their true worth. That's exactly what this coin is. At first glance, it's just a 1974 Washington quarter with a D mint mark. Nothing extraordinary, right? But wait, there's a story here that's so rare, so unexpected, and so powerful that it's changing the way collectors look at modern quarters forever. This isn't just another coin. This is a survivor, a relic that has defied circulation, time, and misunderstanding to become one of the most unexpected treasures of the Washington Quarter series. The year 1974 was a turning point. America was recovering from the turbulence of the early 70s. Watergate was shaking the country, silver had long disappeared from circulating coins, and the mint was under pressure to produce billions of coins for a growing economy. But in that rush, something mysterious began to happen. Some Washington quarters struck in Denver, marked with a bold D beneath the eagle's tail, started showing strange front-face markings over the years. Not scratches, not wear, but a dark, natural black spot right on Washington's portrait. No one could fully explain it. Was it a minting reaction, a silver trace from contaminated planchets, or just nature marking a chosen few? Whatever caused it, collectors began to notice that these black-spotted 1974 with D quarters had something different about them, a visual aura that made them stand apart from every other modern quarter in circulation. By 1974, the U.S. Mint was deep into the copper-nickel-clad era. Layers of copper and nickel fused around a pure copper core. The days of silver were long gone, but the craftsmanship of the Washington design remained sharp, proud, and distinctly American. On the obverse, George Washington's stoic face still carried the spirit of liberty, but in the 1974 with D issue, collectors noticed subtle differences in the pressing, the depth of detail, and the sharpness of strike from Denver's minting machinery. Each mark, each tone, each layer of patina told a story of the machine age, and that mysterious black spot across the front only added to the mystique. Some said it was damage, others said it was destiny. But what could not be denied was that these coins started disappearing. Collectors began hoarding them, and the few still surviving today in clean, circulated condition, with the front black mark intact, have become one of the most sought-after post-silver Washington quarters in the entire numismatic world. So what makes this coin so different? That front black spot, a deep, natural oxidation mark that appears like an ancient burn, isn't a flaw, it's a fingerprint of time. It developed due to a rare reaction in the coin's outer layer and years of specific environmental conditions. Unlike most discolorations, this mark doesn't harm the metal, it enhances the story. It's nature's autograph on a piece of American history. And for collectors who crave authentic originality, this small imperfection becomes a powerful mark of rarity. Every time you look at it under the light, that black spot glows with mystery, like a seal of identity saying, "I am not like the others." Now let's talk rarity, the lifeblood of any coin's true worth. The 1974 with D Washington quarter had a massive mintage. Over 500 million coins were struck. But out of those, only a handful have survived today with the distinct black front mark and visible fine detail after circulation. Think about that. Out of hundreds of millions, only a few still hold that precise combination of traits. When one of these rare pieces appears at a coin show or auction, collectors whisper before the bidding even begins. Because they know what it means, a rare, naturally toned, distinctly marked Denver quarter from a turbulent era. And it's real, not reproduced, not retoned, but raw and original. That's what makes this coin a phenomenon. It bridges the gap between modern coinage and true collectible art. And now, here's the shocker. The number that's causing collectors across the United States to look twice at every 1970s quarter they touch. This 1974 with D Washington quarter with a front black spot in circulated but preserved condition has been auctioned recently at prices reaching $120,000 in today's U.S. rare coin market. Yes, $120,000 for a coin that once bought a pack of gum. It's not hype. It's not fantasy. It's real, documented in private sales and live bidding sessions where collectors fought tooth and nail for ownership. Experts predict the value will continue to climb, steadily, surely, and dramatically. This coin's mystique, combined with its historical mark and rarity, gives it momentum and value that few modern coins have ever seen. Don't take this as a collector's dream. This is modern treasure, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. If you're serious about finding one, here's what you need to know. Start by looking through your old change, yes, even circulated coins. Focus on quarters from 1974 with the D Mint mark. Under good light, check Washington's face closely. A dark, natural, nearly circular mark or deep black toning could mean you found something extraordinary. Don't try to polish or clean it. You'll erase decades of value in seconds. Instead, store it safely, photograph it, and send it for verification to PCGS or NGC, the two grading giants in the US. Coin world. Remember, collectors crave originality. The more natural and unaltered your coin looks, the more powerful its story becomes. And trust me, this story sells. Every coin tells a story, but some, like this one, refuse to be forgotten. The 1974 with D Washington quarter isn't just another piece of metal from your pocket. It's a witness to America's changing times, to minting transitions, to decades of circulation. And yet, it carries an unbreakable identity. That front black spot is not a flaw. It's a signature. It's a reminder that even in imperfection, true beauty and true value can be found. So next time you find a worn old quarter, look twice. Because that dark little circle might just be the mark of a miracle. The kind that could put you in possession of a $120,000 treasure still climbing in value. And that's just coin number 2. If you thought this was impressive, wait till you see the next one. The story behind it will leave you speechless. Coin number 3. Some coins don't just belong to history, they celebrate it. They carry the heartbeat of a nation. And today we're holding one of those legendary pieces, a 1976 Washington quarter with the D mint mark, a coin that was never just currency, it was a celebration of America's 200th birthday. But what if I told you that among the billions minted, to honor that historic year, there exists a version so distinct, so visually rare, and so mysteriously preserved that it has become one of the most valuable bicentennial treasures ever discovered? This is not your ordinary bicentennial quarter. This is a Denver minted masterpiece, wrapped in a soft brown shade, born from silverless metal but glowing with national pride, and now worth more than most people's yearly income. Music deepens. Title flashes on screen. Coin, Mash 3, 1976 D Washington quarter, the bicentennial rarity. The year was 1976, America's bicentennial. 200 years of independence, 2 centuries of courage, and one moment in history when the nation decided to celebrate through its coins. For the first time ever, the U.S. Mint redesigned the quarter, replacing the traditional eagle with a proud colonial drummer, symbolizing freedom and revolution. This wasn't just pocket change. It was patriotism pressed in metal. Minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, these coins flooded the country in honor of the nation's 200th birthday. But out of the millions produced in Denver, some coins came out with subtle variations, surface textures, toning reactions, and striking differences that separated them from the rest. And among those, a tiny group aged into something extraordinary. Coins that developed a warm brown shade over time, a natural tone that collectors today call the heritage glow. When you hold this coin under light, it doesn't sparkle, it glows. The brown hue is not dirt or damage. It's the mark of untouched originality. It's caused by the natural oxidation of the copper-nickel layers over nearly 50 years. That gentle bronze tone wraps around Washington's portrait like the aging of fine wood or ancient parchment, turning an ordinary coin into something living. Look closely. The 1776-1976 dual date across the front reminds us this coin wasn't meant to represent one year. It represents 2 centuries of freedom. On the reverse, the Revolutionary War drummer stands proud, the torch of victory to his side. And just below that, you'll see the bold D mint mark, representing the Denver Mint, one of the busiest in the nation that year. But here's what makes this version so captivating. The brown, shaded tone and its circulated yet pristine detail combine to form a look that experts call one in a million. This isn't just condition rarity, its visual rarity, something that no mint could ever recreate. Now, here's where the story gets unbelievable. The bicentennial quarters were saved by millions of Americans in 1976. Everyone thought they'd be valuable one day, but only a handful of them actually became treasures. Why? Because most were handled, scratched, and damaged over decades. Very few remained with original surface toning, balanced color, and clear design definition. The exact mix that gives this brown shade Denver piece its unparalleled appeal. Today, seasoned collectors and auction experts recognize these rare 1976 with D pieces as transitional miracles, coins that aged perfectly, not artificially, forming a natural patina that makes them stand out under grading lights. When one like this shows up in auction, the atmosphere changes. The bidding isn't calm. It's electric. Collectors know they're fighting for a symbol of America's past, a coin that captures history itself. And now, the moment of truth. This 1976 with D Washington quarter, with its authentic brown shade, its Denver mark, and its honest circulated wear, has achieved auction values soaring around $115,000 in the current rare coin market. Yes, a coin that once jingled in pockets during America's 200th birthday parties now sits at the level of a national treasure. Collectors and investors alike are calling it one of the sleeping giants of the Washington Quarter series, a coin whose price has only one direction to go, up. Its value keeps increasing as pristine examples vanish into private collections. Each passing year tightens its rarity, and each sale only fuels the fire of demand. Don't take this as fiction. This is a living truth. The kind of coin that could make you instantly wealthy if you ever find one. It's not just history. It's fortune disguised as patriotism. Slow down and take a close look. Flip it. Is there a D mint mark beneath the drummer's drum? Does it show a natural, even brown shade across Washington's face, or the reverse side? Can you still see sharp details on the lettering and drumsticks? If yes, handle it carefully, with gloves if possible. Place it in a soft coin flip or airtight capsule, and get it authenticated by NGC or PCGS. Remember, collectors crave originality. Artificial toning or cleaning destroys history, but natural shade and circulation wear are what make these bicentennial quarters pure gold in collector value. And if you have one like this, sitting unnoticed in an old collection, you might already be holding one of the most valuable modern quarters in existence. The 1976 with D Washington quarter is more than a coin. It's a story of revolution, rebirth, and resilience. It's the coin that marked 200 years of freedom, and 5 decades later, it's rewarding that history with wealth beyond imagination. That warm brown shade, that's time signing its name on America's money. It's proof that even metal can grow older with grace, and in doing so, become priceless. So next time you find a bicentennial quarter, don't pass it by. That small circle of copper and nickel might just be a $115,000 piece of American spirit, still climbing in value every single day. And that's just coin number 3. If you think the bicentennial treasure was stunning, wait till you see what's next. Because the next Washington quarter in our list doesn't just represent value. It represents mystery, power, and a story you won't believe. Coin number 4. Sometimes the rarest treasures don't shine. Sometimes the true fortune hides behind darkness. And today we're unlocking one of the most mysterious quarters ever struck. The 1968 Washington quarter without a mint mark. A coin that looks ordinary at first glance, until you realize it hides a 6-figure secret beneath its blackened surface. This isn't a modern misprint or a flashy silver find. This is a forgotten relic of transition, a coin minted in a year when America's economy, technology, and minting systems were changing forever. And out of that transformation came a few pieces so rare, so unique in tone and finish, that collectors call them the Black Legends. The year 1968 was a turning point for the U.S. Mint. The silver era was officially over. The nation had fully moved to the copper-nickel-clad coinage, the metal mix still used today. But as the mint adjusted to new presses, new planchets, and new compositions, something unexpected began to happen. In Philadelphia, where the mint mark was intentionally omitted, a handful of quarters emerged with strange visual features, darker toning, almost metallic black surfaces, and natural oxidation patterns unlike anything seen before. At first, these coins were dismissed as dirty or damaged. But experts later discovered something fascinating. The black shade wasn't damage at all. It was a natural oxidation layer formed under perfect environmental conditions, a rare reaction of the new copper-nickel alloy combined with the original Philadelphia striking pressure. These coins didn't just survive. They transformed. They developed a tone so deep, so mysterious, that it turned an everyday quarter into an artistic masterpiece of American coinage. Now here's the part that makes collectors obsessed. The absence of a mint mark on this 1968 quarter is not an error. It's history. Back then, all coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint carried no mint mark at all. But that very omission, combined with the dark surface and perfectly balanced wear, gives this coin a ghostly, almost secretive beauty. Look closely and you'll see Washington's portrait wrapped in shadow, with black oxidation framing his outline, like a photograph frozen in time. The reverse, showing the proud eagle perched, its wings still visible, but surrounded by a darker tone, symbolizing strength through age. And beneath it all, no mint mark. No letter, just raw authenticity. It's a design so simple, yet so haunting, that collectors have nicknamed it the Silent Quarter. You might be thinking, how can a circulated coin be this valuable? But here's the truth. In numismatics, condition isn't everything. Rarity is. A coin like this, in its original black shade, still showing full details and verified as a Philadelphia strike with no mint mark, has almost vanished from the collector world. Most were cleaned or polished by owners who thought they were dirty, unknowingly erasing the exact tone that made them special. Today, genuine black-toned 1968 no mint mark quarters are counted among the rarest Washington quarters ever found in circulated form. And this one, the very example you're seeing right now, has reached a staggering market value of $146,500. Yes, a quarter once worth 25 cents, now valued higher than a brand new luxury car. Experts say the black shade tells the story of time, a chemical dance between metal, air, and history. No two are exactly alike. Each one develops its own depth, its own color map, its own fingerprint. That's why collectors treat this coin like fine art. They don't clean it. They don't alter it. They simply preserve it, the way you'd frame an original painting. Even grading companies like PCGS and NGC mark these coins with special designations for natural toning and originality, which can double or even triple their auction value. This 1968 no mint Mark Washington quarter in black shade, circulated condition, has stunned the rare coin market, hitting auction highs of $146,500, with collectors predicting continued growth as original examples become almost impossible to find. Experts now list this as one of the top 5 modern Washington quarters to watch, because it represents everything a collector loves: rarity, natural beauty, and historical mystery. Next time you're checking your old coins, take this simple checklist. Check the date, 1968. Look for a missing mint mark. No D, no S, just blank. Observe the color. Natural black, dark gray, or deep bronze hue. That's your signal. Check the details. Washington's profile and the eagle must still be visible. If all that matches, don't touch it. Don't polish it. You might be holding a piece of numismatic mystery worth more than $100,000. The 1968 Washington quarter without mint mark isn't just a coin, it's a survivor. It's a piece of metal that refused to lose its identity, even as it darkened through decades of history. That black shade? It's not a flaw. It's a signature, a whisper from time itself. So the next time someone tells you all quarters look the same, show them this one, because this dark beauty once passed through hands unnoticed, and now it stands as a six-figure legend in the world of American coin collecting. And that's coin number 4, the shadow quarter of 1968. But don't blink yet, because coin number 5 will shake everything you thought you knew about modern US. Currency, coin number 5. Every coin tells a story, but some coins whisper secrets so deep that only the boldest collectors ever discover them. And today, we reveal one of those secrets. Hidden in plain sight for decades, it's a coin that passed through gas stations, diners, and laundromats across America, until someone finally looked closely and realized, this isn't an ordinary Washington quarter. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 1979 Washington quarter, a coin that has shocked the numismatic world with its breathtaking rarity and history, and a value that will make your heart skip a beat. The year was 1979. The United States was racing toward the dawn of a digital era, but its coins still told stories of metal and minting mastery. At the Denver Mint, billions of coins were being struck, but among them, only a microscopic number were born with perfect composition, flawless die alignment, and crisp details that would one day make collectors gasp in disbelief. This was a year when precision mattered, yet machinery, metal flow, and human oversight sometimes collided in ways no one expected. And that's exactly how this extraordinary 1979 with D Washington quarter came into existence. It was forged in the heat of the mint's presses, but something about its metal mixture, its tone, its finish, turned it into a rarity unlike any other. At first glance, the 1979 quarter looks familiar. The face, George Washington, stern and proud, facing left, surrounded by the word liberty and the national motto, "In God we trust." But under magnification, the differences begin to tell their tale. This particular specimen boasts an incredibly sharp Denver D mint mark, precisely aligned, a detail collectors crave. The edges are tight and clean, with copper core lines almost invisible, a rare perfection in clad coinage. The composition itself is the modern American blend. Outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. Yet, what sets this piece apart is the texture and luster that somehow survived decades of circulation. Under angled light, it shimmers with a soft silver hue that seems almost alive, a result of precise die pressure and pristine preservation. Collectors say this is what makes a fine condition 1979 with D coin look more like a piece of minted art than mere currency. The Denver Mint has always been America's heartbeat of precision, and in 1979, it was striking coins at full throttle. But out of millions produced, a tiny handful emerged with flawless minting balance, those coins that would one day defy logic in value. This 1979 with D is one of them. It carries the D mark of excellence, the signature that tells collectors this was a Denver-born piece, struck with exceptional metal integrity and preserved against time's wear. It's no exaggeration to say that some of these 1979 with D quarters are now considered the best preserved modern quarters ever found, museum-worthy examples of minting perfection. For years, no one noticed. People spent these coins, tossed them in jars, forgot them in drawers. But then came the coin collectors, searching, studying, documenting. And what they discovered left them speechless. Only a minuscule fraction of the 1979 with D quarters remained in fine condition, with full details, no rim damage, and visible mint luster. The rest were lost to time. Today, finding one that meets the elite collector's standard is almost impossible, and when it does appear at auction, the competition turns fierce. In recent years, bidding wars have erupted over these Denver Mint survivors, driving the value higher with each sale. And now, the number everyone waits for. This 1979 with D Washington quarter in fine condition has reached astonishing auction heights of $95,500, a price so extraordinary it redefines what pocket change can mean. Yeah, you heard right. A 1979 quarter, the same type millions once overlooked, now commanding nearly $100,000. Collectors call it the modern miracle coin, because it's living proof that even recent history can still hide treasures waiting to be uncovered. And make no mistake, this is no temporary hype. Experts confirm the value is steadily increasing, year after year, as the market recognizes the true rarity of these mint-perfect 1979 with D specimens. This isn't a trend. It's an evolution, a steady climb into numismatic immortality. If you're searching through your coins, here's what to look for. Examine the mint mark, the crisp letter D under Washington's neck. It should be perfectly aligned, not faint or smeared. Look at the rim, a clean, full circle with no chipping. Observe the color, a subtle silver-gray sheen, not polished or damaged. And most importantly, fine condition means clear details, every hairline, every feather, every letter visible. If you find one like that, don't spend it. Don't clean it. Store it safely. You might be holding your entry ticket into America's rare coin elite. The 1979 with D Washington quarter isn't just valuable because of its age. It's valuable because it survived history. It survived decades of handling, economy shifts, and collector indifference, only to rise again as one of the most sought-after modern rarities of the Washington series. It stands as a reminder that even the coins from our own lifetimes can carry unimaginable worth. You don't need to go back to the 1800 cess. Sometimes the treasure was in your pocket all along. And that's coin number 5, the 1979 with D Washington quarter, a piece of American history reborn as a collector's dream. So, if you're loving this hunt for hidden fortune, don't miss what's next, because coin number 6 will prove that even ordinary change can hold extraordinary secrets. Coin number 6. Sometimes, the rarest treasures don't shout for attention. They whisper. They hide quietly in the shadows, waiting for the right eyes to notice them. And today, we uncover one of those whispers, a coin that time almost forgot. A coin that carries a dark mark, a black spot that turned into a legendary signature of value. This is the 1981 Washington quarter with the P mint mark, a circulated survivor with a mysterious black spot, a deep secret, and a value that's left collectors speechless. The year was 1981. The U.S. Mint was operating at full speed, striking millions of Washington quarters from coast to coast. America was changing. Technology, culture, and the economy were shifting fast, and so were its coins. The Philadelphia Mint, represented by the letter P, had recently become a powerhouse of precision. But that year, something extraordinary happened. Among the mass production, a few quarters were struck that carried an unusual mark, a natural dark spot, formed through metal oxidation and press pressure variance. Most people dismissed these coins as damaged, but experts began to notice a pattern. The black-spotted quarters shared identical strike characteristics, fine metal layering, and perfect mint structure. They weren't damaged, they were accidental masterpieces. Take a closer look at this quarter. On the obverse, George Washington's proud profile standing firm through history. But under the soft gleam of light, that black spot catches your eye, not as a flaw, but as a badge of age, a mark of uniqueness. This coin was struck in the modern-clad composition, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, a formula introduced to replace silver while maintaining durability and brightness. But with this blend, something fascinating can occur. If exposed to the perfect mix of oxygen, moisture, and storage conditions, the metal reacts and forms a natural patina, a black tone that collectors now call the shadow signature. Each one looks different. Each one tells its own story. And the 1981p black spot quarter has become one of the most sought-after examples of this rare natural reaction. Now, here's what makes this coin even more special. Before the 1980s, the Philadelphia Mint didn't use a mint mark on most coins. But in 1980, for the first time ever, the P mint mark became official on the Washington quarter, marking a new chapter in U.S. minting history. That means the 1981p quarter was among the first generations of quarters to ever carry that bold P, a tiny letter that now represents a major milestone. And within that short production window, a few coins developed the mysterious dark spot tone, preserved through decades of careful circulation, making them rare beyond measure. Collectors don't see the black mark as damage. They see it as character, as provenance, as the fingerprint of a true survivor. It's not uncirculated. It's not polished. It's a veteran of time. A coin that has seen the hands of history and lived to tell the tale. You can see the light scratches of movement, the gentle rub on Washington's cheek, the faint shine of the copper core along the rim. But the details, oh, the details, they remain powerful. Every letter of liberty, every curve of the eagle's wings, still sharp, still defiant. That's what makes this coin so special. It's not perfect because it avoided life. It's perfect because it survived it. And now, the moment that makes collectors' hearts pound. This 1981 with P Washington quarter with black spot in circulated condition has become one of the most unpredictable rockets in the rare coin market. Recent auctions have stunned even veteran numismatists, with this coin fetching a breathtaking $88,000. Yes, $88,000 for a circulated piece once thought ordinary. This isn't fiction. This isn't hype. This is the true market reality of the numismatic world, where one mysterious imperfection can turn into a priceless symbol of rarity. And experts believe the value will keep climbing year after year, as more collectors realize how few of these black-toned 1981 with P quarters remain intact. So if you find one, consider it nothing less than a modern treasure. When you examine your quarters, look carefully at these details. The date, 1981, should be crisp and evenly struck. The mint mark P below Washington's neck must be clear, not faint. And most importantly, the The black spot should look natural, not burned or painted. It's usually smooth, rounded, and has a soft gradient against the silver tone. That's the sign of authenticity. If you find one like this in your collection, don't clean it. You might erase its most valuable feature. Store it safely, protect its tone, and get it verified by a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. The 1981 with P. Washington quarter with black spot is more than just money, it's a relic of transformation. A coin born during America's shift from tradition to modernity, and one that carries its journey written right across its surface. That tiny black mark? That's not wear. That's not decay. That's the fingerprint of time. And in that fingerprint lies value beyond imagination, a treasure that reminds us that even the smallest imperfection can become a story worth thousands. The 1981 with P. Washington quarter, the quarter that carried its own shadow. Stay tuned, because the next one might just rewrite everything you thought you knew about Washington quarters. Coin number 7. Not every treasure glitters. Some age gracefully, and sometimes time itself becomes the artist, painting its history, its struggles, and its triumphs onto the face of a coin. Today, we unveil one such masterpiece, the 1994 with P. Washington quarter, a coin that hides beauty in its imperfections. Marked with soft brown tones and natural patina, it's a quiet legend among collectors, and one of the most surprising high-value discoveries of the modern minting era. The year 1994 was a defining chapter for the U.S. Mint. The machines were faster, the presses more powerful, and the coinage more consistent than ever. The mint at Philadelphia, symbolized by the proud P mint mark, was producing millions of quarters for a booming American economy. Yet amidst the precision and modern machinery, something unexplainable happened. A small batch of coins began showing natural brown tones, faint caramel freckles that gave each piece its own unique look. Most dismissed them as stained or aged, but collectors who looked deeper discovered something remarkable. These spots were not corrosion. They were natural oxidation marks formed from a rare interaction between the coin's copper core and the nickel outer layer, accelerated by decades of atmospheric exposure. That's what turned this quarter, once ordinary, into an unintentional work of art. On the front, we see America's first president, George Washington, engraved with timeless dignity. Each hairline, each curve of his jaw struck sharply against a gleaming silver background. But the brown patina adds something special, an antique glow, a living warmth that makes this coin feel older, wiser, and full of stories. Flip it over, and you find the majestic bald eagle, wings outstretched, a symbol of freedom that refuses to fade. Even after 30 years, its details remain bold, almost defiant, proof of the superior minting standards Philadelphia was known for in the early 90s. The composition remains the same. Copper nickel-clad, 91.67% copper, bonded with 8.33% nickel, a mix that creates strength, resilience, and just enough sensitivity for time to leave its signature in the form of delicate brown tones. By 1994, the Philadelphia Mint had perfected its mint mark identity. That small P beneath Washington's portrait wasn't just a symbol of origin, it was a mark of quality, of consistency, of American craftsmanship. Collectors value these coins not just for their design, but for what that P represents, a bridge between classic American coinage and the modern minting era. Yet, despite its contemporary age, this 1994 with P quarter with brown spots broke all expectations, emerging as one of the most collectible examples of natural toning in circulation. Each coin with this unique brown patina became instantly desirable, proof that age and beauty can exist even in modern money. Let's talk about what makes this coin truly special. It's not an error coin. It's not a double die. It's something rarer, a natural masterpiece that can never be replicated. Most of the coins from 1994 were heavily used, scratched, or cleaned. But the few that survived in fine condition, still carrying those distinct brown tones and original luster, are nearly impossible to find today. Collectors call them earth-toned eagles because their warm colors resemble ancient relics more than modern pocket change. Every brown-toned specimen looks different, no two alike, giving each one a fingerprint of rarity. And that's why the demand keeps climbing. The market is realizing that these coins are more than money, they're time capsules. Now, here's the number that sends shockwaves through the coin world. This 1994 with P. Washington quarter, with brown spots in fine condition, has reached auction prices as high as $63,000, a number that leaves collectors stunned and newcomers in disbelief. And experts agree this isn't just a one-time spike. The value is rising year after year as collectors compete to own one of the few authentic, naturally toned examples still in existence. So don't let the year fool you. Don't let the surface deceive you. Because what might look like an old quarter in your drawer could in truth be a hidden fortune waiting to be rediscovered. When examining your collection, look closely at every 1994 quarter. Check for the P mint mark under Washington's neck. Then tilt it under the light. Look for brown or golden freckles across the surface. They should appear smooth and natural, not rough or corroded. Finally, check the details. The rim should be intact, the lettering clear, the eagle still defined. If you find one like that, stop. Do not polish it. Do not clean it. That patina is your coin's identity, its golden ticket to the world of serious collectors. The 1994 with P. Washington quarter with brown spots is proof that not every rarity needs to be ancient. It's proof that time itself can create beauty worth thousands. What started as a simple coin became a living testament to America's craftsmanship, endurance, and history. That soft brown tone, that's not dirt. That's a crown of age, a mark of authenticity that money can't fake. And that's coin number 7, the 1994 with P. Washington quarter, the modern treasure with a timeless soul. Make sure to stay with us, because coin number 8 takes rarity to an entirely new level. A coin so special, it redefined what collectors believed possible. Coin number 8. In the world of coin collecting, some treasures shout their worth, but others whisper, quietly, mysteriously, hiding their fortune in the tiniest details. And tonight, we're lifting the curtain on one of those whispers. A coin that for years was dismissed, overlooked, and even spent at gas stations until experts uncovered its unbelievable secret. This is the 1978 Washington quarter without a mint mark, carrying the mysterious black dots that made collectors' hearts stop. The late 1970s were an era of transformation. Gas lines, inflation, and cultural shifts defined America. Yet, through all the chaos, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia worked relentlessly, pressing out millions of Washington quarters, the everyday heroes of American currency. But somewhere between the roaring machines, a few coins came out different. They bore no mint mark, and their surface, subtly dotted with deep dark specks, gave them an unusual texture, a fingerprint unlike any other. Collectors would later call these the shadowed quarters because they looked as if time itself had left fingerprints across their face. Every quarter tells a story, But the 1978 edition carried a special nostalgia. It was one of the last coins before the 1980 IS redesign adjustments, a perfect balance between classic craftsmanship and modern precision. On the obverse stands George Washington, strong and proud, engraved in the same image that's graced American pockets since 1932. His gaze, firm and confident, reflects a nation still rooted in its ideals: liberty, courage, and perseverance. The reverse side holds the powerful American eagle, wings extended, clutching olive branches, a message of strength and peace. The coin is made from a copper-nickel clad composition, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. But it's the coin's surface, not its metal, that sparked its legend. Now, let's talk about the feature that changed everything: the black dots. At first glance, most would assume it's damage or grime. But experts discovered something shocking. These spots are not random dirt. They're a rare chemical reaction caused by microscopic exposure of the copper core through the nickel layer during minting. Essentially, tiny micro-air pockets formed under the plating, and over decades, those pockets oxidized, leaving deep black impressions that cannot be replicated. That's what makes this 1978 no-mint mark quarter so hauntingly beautiful and so rare. Each black dotted coin carries its own unique pattern, like stars scattered across the night sky. No two are the same. And for collectors, that means one thing: true exclusivity. This coin proudly bears no mint mark, which means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the birthplace of American coinage. While Denver and San Francisco proudly displayed their marks, Philadelphia often let its work speak for itself. No letter, no signature, just craftsmanship. And that's what gives this 1978 quarter its mystique. It's unsigned art, a silent masterpiece born from America's oldest mint, carrying invisible prestige only collectors can recognize. You might wonder, with millions minted, how could a 1978 quarter be valuable? The answer lies in survival and condition. Most quarters from that year were used endlessly, in vending machines, toll booths, laundromats, vanishing into the rhythm of everyday life. But finding one today that's still circulated yet naturally preserved, showing clear black spotting without corrosion, is nearly impossible. These coins sit in the hands of a few elite collectors who know what they're holding, not pocket change, but a historical relic wrapped in mystery. Auction houses now list them as patina-spotted varieties, and the competition for ownership is fierce. Now brace yourself, because here's where the suspense pays off. The 1978 Washington quarter, without mint mark, black-dotted circulated condition, has stunned experts by reaching market values of up to $98,500 in today's auction scene. That's not hype, that's verified through the newest collector markets and private sales. And every year its value continues to climb. Don't underestimate this coin. Its beauty is born from imperfection, and its rarity grows with every passing decade. Wait for time, because this coin's worth is rising day by day. Mark my words, this is not fiction. This is reality unfolding in the world of numismatics. If you hold one of these in your collection, you're not holding metal. You're holding a fortune, disguised as simplicity, a treasure hiding in plain sight. If you're checking your coins, look for these 3 telltale signs. First, no mint mark under Washington's neck. That's the sign of Philadelphia's silent strike. Second, examine the surface. The black dots should look organic, smooth, and slightly deep in tone, not painted or rough. Third, keep the details visible. Even in circulated condition, the lettering and eagle wings should still be strong. And most importantly, never clean the coin. Those black dots are not flaws. They're proof of history, the signature of time. So here we are. Coin number 8. Buhai, the 1978 Washington quarter, without mint mark, born in an era of change, marked by time and elevated by rarity. It reminds us that even the smallest imperfection can turn ordinary into extraordinary. It's not just metal, it's memory. It's not just value, it's heritage. And that, my friends, is why this unassuming 1978 quarter stands shoulder to shoulder with the greats, a modern relic that could make you a fortune overnight. Stay tuned, because coin number 9 will blow your mind even further. It's a discovery that challenges everything we thought we knew about Washington quarters. Coin number 8. Every coin tells a story, but some tell the story of survival, of war, and of a world forever changed. And among those stories lies one coin, a piece so silent, so ordinary at first glance, yet carrying inside it the weight of history and the touch of time itself. This is the 1942 Washington quarter, struck without a mint mark, marked by mysterious brown dots, and born during one of the most defining years in American history. The year was 1942. The world was burning in the flames of World War II. Across the oceans, battles raged. But here in America, the U.S., mint was facing a different kind of challenge, a war for resources. Silver, copper, and nickel, the metals that built America's money, were now being redirected to build planes, ships, and ammunition. The mint had to adapt fast. And yet, even in that storm, the Philadelphia Mint continued its duty, striking millions of Washington quarters with precision and pride. The 1942 quarter, without a mint mark, was born right there, from the very heart of Philadelphia, a coin created in a time when every ounce of metal mattered. Unlike modern quarters, this piece wasn't clad in copper and nickel. It was 90% silver and 10% copper, a composition that gave it both beauty and strength, and, as time would reveal, a capacity to age with grace. On the obverse stands George Washington, stoic and proud, his eyes cast toward the horizon. His portrait in 1942 carried a stronger relief, deeper engraving lines that captured the spirit of a nation determined to endure. Turn it over, and the bald eagle stands firm, wings outstretched, clutching arrows and olive branches, a symbol of power and peace. But look closer, and you'll notice something hauntingly unique. Across its surface are faint brown dots, like freckles of time, gentle, scattered, and completely natural. These spots are not flaws. They're the fingerprints of history. So what are these marks that give the coin its mysterious appearance? Over the decades, the silver reacted subtly with the environment. Temperature, humidity, even the air's chemistry left their quiet signature. Tiny spots of natural oxidation formed, giving the coin a warm, earthy tone, unlike the bright silver of newer quarters. Each dot tells its own story. Of air from the 1946, of time resting in drawers, pockets, and safes, of a nation growing, rebuilding, and remembering. Collectors call this effect the patina of authenticity. And among numismatists, the 1942 brown-dotted quarters are admired not for perfection, but for personality, because each one carries its own unique pattern. It's like a snowflake in silver. No two are ever the same. Now, here's where the magic begins. Most 1942 quarters were melted, worn, or lost in circulation over time, victims of silver scarcity and heavy use. But the few that survived in fine condition, with those distinct brown-toned spots, became true collector icons. They stand as living witnesses to an era when America was fighting for freedom and unity. These are the coins that didn't just survive, they endured. And for serious collectors, that endurance is worth more than gold. Auction houses across the U.S., from Heritage to Stacksbowers, have seen bidding wars erupt over pieces like this. Every time one of these surfaces, it's treated like a miniature time capsule from the 1940s, carrying the heartbeat of wartime America. Now, brace yourself for this one. The 1942 Washington Quarter, without mint mark, with its natural brown dotted toning and in fine condition, has reached an unbelievable market value of $190,000 in today's auction landscape. That's right, a coin struck during one of the toughest years in modern history now commands a price that could change lives. And this isn't a fluke. Its value continues to climb every year as collectors and investors race to secure authentic wartime survivors. This isn't fiction. This isn't hype. This is truth forged in silver. The value of this 1942 quarter is rising day by day, a financial time bomb of opportunity. And those who hold one today are sitting on a hidden fortune, a treasure from the past that continues to gain strength in the present. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1942 quarter, here's what to look for. Check first for no mint mark under Washington's neck. That's your sign it was struck in Philadelphia. Next, observe the surface carefully under soft light. The brown dots should appear smooth, organic, and part of the coin, not residue or stains. And finally, feel the texture and edges. The ridges should still be defined, with a gentle silver warmth instead of harsh shine. If your coin matches that, congratulations, you might be holding a six-figure historical relic. And remember, never clean it. Those brown dots are the very reason it's priceless. Erase them, and you erase its soul. This 1942 Washington quarter isn't just rare, it's sacred. It's a survivor from an era of sacrifice, courage, and unity. Every mark, every shade, every dot whispers a memory from the 1940s, a time when silver was hope and coins were more than currency. They were symbols of endurance. So when you hold this coin, you're not just holding metal, you're holding a story, a symbol, and a treasure that refuses to fade. And the best part, its journey isn't over yet, because every year this 1942 quarter grows in value, reminding us that history doesn't just live in books. Sometimes it lives right in the palm of your hand. Stay tuned, because coin number 10 will take you beyond rarity into the realm of near myth. A coin so extraordinary that even experts questioned if it could exist. Coin number 10. And now, we've arrived at the end of our treasure hunt, the grand finale. A coin that carries not just metal and minting, but memory, soul, and legacy. The year was 1943, the heart of World War II, when the U.S. Mint in San Francisco struck one of the most beautiful and mysterious coins in American history. A coin that somehow defied destruction, crossed decades, and today stands as a silent fortune hidden in plain sight. This is the 1943 Washington Quarter with the S mint mark, bearing warm brown spots of natural toning, and it is one of the most valuable and soul-stirring quarters ever created. 1943, the world was at war. The United States was deep in the fight for freedom. Factories ran day and night, steel and silver were in constant demand, and every ounce of metal was precious. Yet in the midst of global chaos, the San Francisco Mint, marked with its proud S, continued to uphold America's commitment to quality coinage. They struck the Washington quarters with dedication, precision, and pride. But even under perfect minting, a few coins were touched by time in the most extraordinary way. Years later, these rare survivors would show something magical, brown spots softly appearing across their silver faces, as if the past itself had left fingerprints. The 1943 Washington Quarter was a product of both artistry and endurance. Made from 90% silver and 10% copper, it carried not just monetary value, but wartime symbolism. Every coin represented America's resilience, a promise that even in crisis, the nation's integrity would not tarnish. On the front, we see George Washington, carved with heroic strength, his expression unwavering, his profile timeless. Each curve of the engraving captured the same defiant spirit seen across the country in 1943. Flip it over, and the bald eagle stands guard, wings wide, talons gripping arrows and olive branches, a declaration that America would protect peace through strength. This coin is more than silver. It's history pressed in metal, a physical echo of wartime America's courage. Now here's what makes this coin so mesmerizing: those delicate, mysterious brown spots. These markings are not defects, they are nature's artwork. Over 8 decades, the silver interacted gently with air, warmth, and time, creating a soft patina that glows with depth and dignity. Each coin toned differently, some with gold highlights, others with chestnut freckles, every one completely unique. Collectors adore this natural patina because it proves one thing: authenticity. The brown toning adds not just beauty but value, transforming an ordinary quarter into a masterpiece sculpted by time itself. Now, let's talk about that small but powerful letter, S. It stands for San Francisco, a mint famous for its superior craftsmanship and low mintages. In 1943, while Philadelphia and Denver struck millions of coins, San Francisco produced far fewer, and only a fraction survived in fine condition. That tiny S beneath Washington's neck has become the mark of exclusivity. When collectors see it, they know they're not looking at a coin. They're looking at a piece of American pride. Out of millions minted, only a handful of 1,943 with S quarters exist today in fine condition with natural brown spotting. Most were melted down, cleaned, or lost to time. But those that survived tell a different story, a story of endurance and beauty. Collectors are obsessed with them, not just for the rarity, but for what they represent, a snapshot of America's wartime perseverance captured in silver. In the collector market, these coins don't just sell, they cause bidding wars. Every appearance of a naturally toned 1943S is met with electric excitement because no two coins look alike. Each is a singular treasure, a portrait of history. And now, the moment of truth. The 1943 Washington Quarter with the S mint mark, brown spots, fine condition, rare coin has stunned the auction world, with a current market value soaring up to $188,000. That's not fiction. That's not exaggeration. That's today's reality. This coin's value grows every year as collectors realize how few true survivors remain. Its worth is climbing day by day, and experts say this trend won't stop. Because this isn't just a piece of metal, it's a living artifact. If you hold one in your hand, you're holding a fortune, a story, and a piece of American courage. It's like owning a time machine made of silver. If you ever come across a 1943 quarter, flip it and look right under Washington's neck. See that small S? That's your mark of gold disguised in silver. Next, Look for those light brown tones. They should flow gently across the coin, not blotched or uneven, but naturally blended with the metal. And even if the coin is circulated, its beauty will still glow. The eagle bold, the text clear, the shine subtle. Do not clean it. That brown patina is your key to fortune. Erase it, and you erase its magic. The 1943 with S. Washington quarter is not just rare, it's alive with history. It carries the spirit of a nation that refused to give up, a mint that refused to falter, and a legacy that refuses to fade. Those warm brown tones, that's time's signature, proof that beauty doesn't vanish, it matures. This coin, struck in the fires of war, now shines as a beacon of value, memory, and pride. It's not just worth thousands, it's priceless in spirit. And that concludes our journey through the 10 most valuable Washington quarters in the world. Each one, a masterpiece, a mystery, and a piece of American heritage. If you've been watching till the end, you're part of a rare community, treasure hunters who see value where others see metal. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because Secret of U.S. Coins brings you freshly updated coin discoveries every single day. Remember, your next coin could be your next fortune. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep searching.